Today, June 6, 2024, the 80th anniversary of D-Day, of the D-Day landing. We remember those who faced danger and death in Normandy, France, to preserve our republic, our religious choice, and our civilization, and to set free a suffering humanity. Today we remember Uncle Melvin and all the Uncle Melvins that made the ultimate sacrifice, not only in Normandy, throughout World War II and all wars. Give our military personnel strength to their arms, stoutness in their hearts, steadfastness in their faith. They will need thy blessings. Grant us the courage to pursue what is right and strength to overcome tyranny and oppression through Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of preparing accurate written minutes. Recordings are overwritten following approval of the minutes, eliminating all unofficial records of these proceedings. Your first item is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held May 30th, 2024.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. Are there any guests here concerning county business? Hearing none, we'll move on.
The next item is the opening of bids, the sale of surplus county real estate. This is Center Avenue, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, comprising approximately of 0.79 acres. Carbon County Tax Parcel ID 83A2-17-K4. One bid, two bids? Okay, the first bidder is Leslie Long, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. Bid is $20,200. The next bidder is Elisa Staggerwalt of Jim Thorpe. Okay, the fingers don't want to work today. Okay, the amount bid, $20,000.
Motion to table the bids for 1 week for awardal or rejection.
I'll second
Mr. Honor?
that. Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Your next item is a piece of property, Princeton Avenue, Palmerton, Pennsylvania, comprising of 0.26 acres. Carbon County Tax Parcel ID number 42A-49-J54.03.
No bids.
No bids. And the next item is Princeton Avenue, Palmerton, Pennsylvania, comprising of approximately 0.09 acres. Carbon County Tax Parcel ID number 42A-49-J54.04.
No bids.
No bids. Okay. Would you like to do anything with the two parcels that you did not
Next
receive any bids?
process would be either to re-advertise or could they be sold otherwise? I mean, they're small parcels.
Yeah, the fair market value is what it is under the county code. It's set after consulting with a real estate appraiser and the chief assessor, which was done here. So unless and until that number changes, that's the figure. But it would have to be re-advertised before we could accept bids again.
It's on the agenda, I guess, for bids, since there's no bid, I would make a motion that we re-advertise at the, value.
I'll
assessed
second
value.
that. I'm actually surprised.
Yeah,
that- I mean, it's not great property, but they always say location, location, and it's actually not at a bad location. But what are you gonna do?
Did you second that, Mr. Honor?
Yes,
Okay. Mr. Honor?
yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Right, next item is the report of executive sessions held.
There were three. There was one held on Friday, May 31st at 9:30 a.m. was to discuss personnel. One held on Tuesday, June 4th at 2 p.m. also to discuss personnel. And one on Wednesday, June 5th at 9:15 p.m. to discuss personnel. And all of them have taken place in the year 2024,
9:15 a.m.
9:15 a.m.
a.m.
a.m. All were in the a.m. and all were personnel.
Your next item is the department reports, the budget transfers.
Motion approved.
second,
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes?
The supplemental appropriations.
Motion approved.
second,
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Expenditures approval of payroll check numbers 75871 through 75886 and direct deposit check numbers 6065162 through 6065628 for the payroll paid through the payroll fund checking account for all county funds totaling $701,249.31. This is the payroll dated May 31, 2024.
Motion to ratify.
second,
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 244044 through 244132 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $2,946,274.77.
Motion approved.
second,
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The treasurer's report.
Motion approved.
second,
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. We'll go into the salary board, so we will recess or we will move from the commissioners meeting to the salary board at this time. Are there any guests here concerning salary board business?
Okay, our first item is the approval of the minutes of the salary board meetings held May 2nd, 2024, and reconvened on May 16th, 2024.
motion approved,
Second.
Mrs. Harmon,
Yes.
Mr. Honor,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco.
Yes. Now I will ask, is there anyone that's here concerning salary board business?
Okay, your report of executive sessions held?
There were none.
when,
Oh, I'm sorry,
One
one,
at
June
10:30.
3rd, 10:30 a.m. I'm looking at a different report here, so I apologize.
Excuse me. Okay, the next item is the Commissioner's Office.
There you go.
Change the rate of one grant coordinator from $23.01 per hour, a grade 12, step A, to $26.04 per hour, grade 12, step F, effective June 10th, 2024.
Motion to change the rate.
second,
Mrs. Herman,
Yes.
Mr. Honor,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein,
yes,
Mr. Sifranco.
Yes.
Change the rate of one fiscal legal assistant from $20.39 per hour, grade 8, step D, to $18.39 per hour, grade 8, step A, effective June 10th, 2024.
I'll make a motion.
second,
Mrs. Herman,
Yes.
Mr. Honor,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein,
yes,
Mr. Sifranco.
Yes.
Okay. Corrections. Establish the position of one administrative assistant at $15.58 per hour, grade 4, step A, effective June 10th, 2024.
motion to approve,
Second.
Mrs. Harmon,
Yes.
Mr. Honor,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein,
yes,
Mr. Sifranco.
Yes.
Establish the position of one record supervisor at $27.71 per hour, grade S7, step J, effective June 10th, 2024.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
No, go ahead.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Establish the position of one acting record supervisor at $27.71 per hour, grade S7, step J, effective June 10th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Abolish the position of one administrative assistant / records at $21.98 per hour, grade 6, step K, effective June 10th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Abolish the position of one administrative assistant / records at $17.17 per hour, grade 6, step A, effective June 10th, 2024.
Motion abolish.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Change the rate of one administrative supervisor from $18.72 per hour, grade S2, step D, to $20.63 per hour, grade S5, step B, effective June 10th, 2024.
Motion to change the rate?
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Human Resources. Abolish the position of one Assistant Director Trainee at $25.37 per hour, grade 14, step A, effective June 10th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. No, go ahead, Carol.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Planning and Development. Establish the position of one Open Space Coordinator at $18.93 per hour, grade 8, step A, effective June 6, 2024.
Motion established.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The Prothonotary. Abolish the position of one second deputy trainee at $15.05 per hour, grade 4, step A, effective June 6, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Abolish the position of one clerk PFAD coordinator trainee at $14.33 per hour, grade 3, step A, effective June 6, 2024.
Motion to abolish.
Second.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The Sheriff.
Morning.
Good morning.
Establish the position of 2 part-time security officers at $14.83 per hour, grade 3, step A, effective June 6, 2024.
Second.
Mr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Mrs. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes. And that is all for the salary board. The only thing is we are going to be recessing the salary board for 1 week. We do have some other issues we will handle next week. I'd like to thank everyone on the salary board for working diligently this last week and getting all accomplished that you see before you today. Back into the commissioners' meeting.
The next item is the personnel report for county departments.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The acknowledgements for courts and row offices.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. The Area Agency on Aging. For approval, a request was received from the Area Agency on Aging Administrator for continuation of the Area Agency on Aging to be the fiscal manager for the LINK program, July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
For approval, a request was received from the Area Agency on Aging Administrator to renew the agreement with Julie Robinsky-Mon of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, to continue in the position as Carbon County Link Coordinator, created by a federal mandate for the term of July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, at the rate of $25 per hour with flexible hours up to but not exceeding 40 hours per week. This contract will renew annually and is subject to funding availability.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Children and Youth, for approval and execution. A quote was received from Visual Sound of Broomall, Pennsylvania, to install an audio-visual system in the Children and Youth Conference Room at 525 Iron Street for a total cost of $22,468.63. This includes equipment, labor, and a 3-year service agreement, which will be funded by the Children and Youth Information Technology Grant under CoStar's contract number 034 E22-167.
Motion approved and execute.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Information Technology, for approval and execution, an agreement with Penteledata for fiber broadband internet service for the Area Agency on Aging office at a monthly reoccurring fee of $89.95. This agreement replaces the current contract for internet services due to the conversion of all coaxial broadband to fiber. This represents an increase of $2 per month.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Insurance for ratification. Submission of an application to P-Corps, the county's insurance carrier, for the remaining $3,214.03 loss prevention grant funds. The funds will be used to purchase 2 additional AEDs, which will be placed in the Emergency Operations and Training Center and connection to the fire alarm system at the storage facility to the 911 center. Total cost, $3,214.03.
Motion to approve.
And I will second that with a little bit of a comment on here. This here is the end of us getting every department an AED. So I think that was something that the safety committee was very hot on trying to get that. So I want to thank the safety committee and, you know, and the sheriff keeping updated on these things. But it's good we got them. I think even going back to it, I know one of our fellow commissioners that's from another county, his son actually died and there was no AED there. And so I think that's very important. He was one of the commissioners from Monroe County. His son was playing basketball and they didn't even have it at the school. So that's very important, I think, for all of our departments to keep not just their employees, but everybody that walks into the public, you know, the public people that are coming in. So thank you again for the safety committee for keeping pushing on this.
Okay, our next item is the NEPA MPO Planning Committee appointments for approval. Assignment and reassignment of county and at-large voting representatives and alternates to the Northeastern Pennsylvania Metropolitan Planning Organization Technical Planning Committee for a term commencing July 1, 2024 and ending June 30th, 2026. The county representative will be Commissioner Arner. The county representative alternate, Jason Skrimkowski of Carbon County Planning. At-large representative, Representative Heffley. At-large representative alternate, Harold Pudliner, Weatherly Borough.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
I will vote yes on the 3 of them, except the county representative. I will abstain from that vote. Okay.
Mr. Notstein?
I should have seen it too. Approve all the above.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Planning and Development, CDBG, for approval and execution, change order number 1 to the contract with Bruce George Paving and Excavating of Kunkletown, Pennsylvania for Franklin Township street improvements, Red Hill Road Phase 2, fiscal years 2020, 21, and 22. Due to contract price increasing $1,610, the new contract price is $336,644.52. The original price was $335,034.52.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The Public Defender Indigent Defense Grant for ratification. Submission of a grant application for funding from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for reimbursement of wages for mental health social worker and part-time public defender. The project period is July 1, 2024 to December 31, 2025. Total funding available at $92,723.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
A union agreement, ASME residual, for approval and execution, the collective bargaining agreement between the county and ASME District Council 87, AFL-CIO Local 2483, representing various county employees for the period of January 1, 2024 through December 31, 2026. Wage increases, 2024, 4%, 2025, 3%, 2026, 3%. 911 operators and senior dispatchers, when training newly hired dispatchers, will receive an additional $1 per hour, increased from 50 cents per hour, and modified employee contributions for health care insurance. As a FYI, this covers various clerical staff, 911, cleaning personnel, and maintenance employees.
Motion to approve and execute?
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The Solicitor's Report?
Thank you. For Parks and Recreation, seeking a motion for approval and execution of a special activities agreement for the use of Josiah White Park, along with gazebo request and banner request with the Jim Thorpe Tourism Agency. Let's say for the dates listed.
Motion to approve, whistling out of it.
Could you repeat that again with words? No, second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Under tax assessment, seeking a motion for approval and payment of a refund in the amount of $1,774.81 to the property owner Care HSL Heritage Hill Propco LLC due to a court stipulation decreasing the assessment from $1,605,839 to $1,458,000.
Motion to approve and make payment?
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
And related for the 2024 tax year, seeking a motion for approval and payment of a refund in the amount of $4,558.87 to Care HSL Heritage Hill Propco LLC. Again, due to the court stipulation decreasing the assessment from $1,605,839 to $1,248,000.
Motion to approve and make payment?
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
And lastly, seeking a motion for approval of a stipulation between the Weatherly Area School District and Carbon County Board of Assessment Appeals in the matter of Weatherly Area School District versus Carbon County Board of Assessment Appeals and PNK P5 LLC, effective January 1st, 2024 for county and borough tax purposes and July 1st, 2024 for school district tax purposes. The assessment for tax parcel 32-20-A2A comprising 117.89 acres will be $2,028,162.
Motion approved?
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any further business?
I'd just like to bring up on these tax appeals, some of these are court ordered, et cetera, but a lot of places are coming in with huge appeals for their taxes. And we are putting up a fight, and we're doing good so far as partnering with local municipalities, school districts in the county to get other appraisals on the properties to keep the value up there. We contest the appraisals that they received, and so far we've been pretty successful in remaining in the black, because every time we lose an appeal like this, or there are appeals, we lose revenue, and we cannot afford to lose revenue. And I really disagree with a bunch of the parcels on a lot of the properties that come in here, reducing it by millions of dollars, and it's a huge hit to the municipality, to the county, and the school districts. And I understand there's some school districts that do not want to file the appeals, and I don't think they really realize what the cost or what they are gonna lose, that small amount that we have to contribute to the appeal is gonna pay for itself possibly within a year, 2 years or so, depending on what kind of an appraisal we get and how we make out. But I think the municipalities, the county, boroughs, townships, and schools all have to work together and take a stance against a lot of these appeals. Some are justified, but those that are not justified, and I think unfair to the taxpayers, I think we have to step up to the plate and get our own appraisals and take them to court if we have to.
Okay. Commissioners' reports, Mr. Honor?
Nothing at this time.
Mr. Notstein?
That's enough, I just wanted to mention that.
Mr. Sifranco?
The only thing I would like to mention is, as you noticed, the agenda was pretty heavy today. But one thing that should step out is that we were able to satisfy another contract and wrap that up. So I'd like to thank everyone, Board of Commissioners on both sides of the table, for sitting down and bringing something before us that is beneficial to all sides. So thank you for your diligent work there. That's all I have. Anything further? That concludes the meeting. Thank you all. With that, we will start, where did we start last week? In the front with Amy? Okay, well, how about we'll start in the back with TV 13 this week?
I had a question about the grant coordinator position. Do you guys have someone in mind for that right now?
If you would, on the personnel report, there's a name there listed of who has received that position.
Can you guys just sort of talk a little bit about the importance of that position for the county?
Yes, we had, well, yeah, I'll go first, I'm sure they'll have their comments, especially no comment Rocky after last week's episode. But, yeah, you have so many different grants out there for different agencies and different groups, and a lot of times we're losing track. We need someone to track all the grants, when the reports are due, are they worth applying for? When the expense runs out, if we run out of funding, or if we don't expend it all, some things have been left go and we lose funding because we didn't spend it in time. So it's just basically to keep an eye on all the grants that we have, and I think eventually it's gonna turn into a lot more. I want people to realize this is not a grants writer. For those that have grants, they're still gonna have to, even if you hire somebody to do your grants for you, whether it be a nonprofit or whatever, you're the one that has to supply the information, the statistics, the mission statements, and what you expect to get out of the grant, the timelines, etc. Now, this person will probably be able to assist somewhat, or the final package, and make sure it's all in order. All the questions are answered, all the i's are dotted, t's are crossed, but basically it's to track the grant, keep us from losing money. The people going for the grants have to It's not gonna be a research department for grants, as well as up to the department heads. And I think what we're going to do after some presentations, and I didn't get to talk to the other two commissioners about it. I was at two separate programs, one with Senator Arga last week on grants and possibilities, as well the Council of Governments had someone speaking from CDBG on different possibilities. But we're talking about possibly getting a presentation to our department heads and how to go and where to go to look for different grants. You can go online, but there are grants out there. Some are not worth their while, in my opinion. We ran into and that's the other job of the coordinator, I would say, is the grant even worth going for? We applied for one several years ago, and the stipulations in there and everything, and the additional cost to install was the boat launch out here, the ramp to take the rafts down. It would have cost us more money than what the grant was or what we could do that project for. And the sustainability over the years, how long is the grant good for? Is it gonna keep reoccurring? Are we gonna do a grant, create positions or do things, then all of a sudden it goes back to the taxpayers and we have to raise the taxes to keep that position or keep that project going. So it's a very responsible position. Gonna be a lot of tracking. The first few months are gonna be rough, gathering all the information, all the grants that are currently out there, what the status is, when do they expire, when do you have the funding reports in, et cetera, and developing Excel sheets and that to really keep a track and work with the people that have the grants in their departments to ensure that they are being spent properly and on a timely fashion in reporting.
When does this person start?
Monday.
And are you still going for is there still going to be a grant writer position, or is this the grant?
At this current time, it's just a coordinator.
I think to kind of answer some of those questions is one, the person that is hired is to coordinate and bring everything together. The individual, she has a very impressive resume when it comes to this. We had an interview, she was, probably
Has
one
been
of
working with
the
grants
best
already.
interviews we've had. She has a Master's of Business Administration from Wilkes University, a rather very impressive resume. She has worked here within the county and been extremely helpful along the way. As a matter of fact, I think she really, I give her a lot of credit in helping us preserve a $500,000 grant that we received up in the prison, along with many other issues that we've been along. So it's always nice when you can have someone within the county that's already on staff in the area that we're able to promote and bring people up into that. So I think she's gonna do a very good job, and as Wayne had said, right now, the commissioners are looking at was a position that we all felt was definitely needed. And it's to coordinate and bring it all together. The long-range goals is this department, ultimately, everyone always say grant writers, grants coordinators, grants directors, they all pay for themselves, and that is true. But there's an area there that this is something new to the county, something that hasn't been ever here, and it's gonna help grow with that. And the main point, I guess, is it's going to help our county administrator, because that's exactly who she's going to be reporting to, and then to the commissioners. It'll streamline a lot of questions that we have on a daily basis. Where's this grant? What's the timeline? And this kind of brings all of that together, and hopefully, that department, I'm sure as time goes on, we will probably have to add some people where it's needed. But for right now, this is the first step in many steps. And what was very nice, and I was like, without getting into all of that in depth, I don't want to do that, but when we had the interview, the new grants coordinator has a very positive outlook and has a plan, and she has a procedure in place that is in line with what the commissioners agree with, along with the county administrator, and she presented that very well. And with that, that's why we've made that decision and we're moving forward.
Do you mind telling me a little about the plan? Where does she plan to start?
Well, I think Wayne hit on that earlier, where she's gonna I think we're gonna start with sitting down with all the department heads and bringing people in and roll that out as to how it's gonna take place.
Okay, so there's no specific portion of the county that she's focusing on first. It's sort of everybody.
No. I think it's, there's so, I'm sure that everyone's gonna be calling today, as soon as we walk out of this meeting, to find out when that position starts on Monday. So it's gonna be a matter of the county administrator, Ellie working with her and coming up with a plan as to how they're gonna roll all of that out. And it should be noted that the three commissioners are in complete agreement with that.
Yeah, I think the first job that this person will have is information gathering on the current grants out there. That's where they're gonna start, just gathering that information, where the status of them, the grants are, the amounts, and things of that nature. So it's gonna be a little while till this person really gets that information together. Like I said, there's a lot of grants out there. Almost every week we're doing some kind of grant. Some are simple, some are extremely complicated, depending on where the funding source comes from. There's a lot of detail-oriented information that has to be gathered. I know the one particular grant that we're dealing with, the RACP, we're 3 years now, and the reporting is horrendous. We had to make a copy of every invoice. We had to keep a spreadsheet of every invoice. We had to track every salary to the penny. And when it goes to the states and they find a mistake, and the company Santac with the state that reviews all this stuff, they are, I mean, it's really, technical, I guess, and like I say, the reporting, and it goes back to the contractors. This person has to deal, and then somebody else in our office is dealing with one right now with myself on the training center grant for $2.25 million. And the amount of time we have put in, the amount of money we got, the grants writer that we used at that time gets a percentage. We had to pay a monthly fee for that and other grants. So it's come down to the point that out of that $250,000, we're not gonna have a whole lot left because of the, and I did complain about it recently, well, more than recently, more than twice, but I brought the subject up again last week at a session. And it's supposed to be streamlining the process, but the reporting is it's just a lot of work for someone.
You did hear all of that. Commissioner Notstein just admitted that he will be reporting to the grants coordinator as to how far along his grants are.
I'll be the first thing, that's all.
I tell you what, they talk a lot then too, guys. I'm gonna keep my comment brief.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that, and I think it goes back to the budget, we have a lot of departments that get grants. And we run into it that, okay, the grant is over in May, and we don't know that. So I think tracking the grants, I think Wayne hit on that a little bit, is gonna help us out with the budget. And back to the person that's going into position, I mean, I worked with her on the grants, and I mean, she wasn't the only one. There were several other ones, with the warden and Cecilia. But we went from a $75,000 grant up to, I think, $573,000. Which is phenomenal. So I would say this person's pretty well adapted on the grants right now. And just on the grant coordinator versus grant writer, I think this is a start to actually, for the county, I mean for myself, I would like to see a grant writing department, which will get there eventually. But I think we need a lot of cooperation. And again, like Wayne and Mike said, we're gonna try to put guidelines down, and we don't want to lose this person, and I think that's why it became a coordinator. If it would have been a grant writer, this person probably would have quit in a week, because they would have got hit by 27 departments and 52 grants, and it would have been overwhelming. So we want to start off, and like I said, we want to build up, and if it winds up being a grant department, you're going to see how much it is, because other counties, they're getting $80,000 to $100,000 in a month or two period of time. That helps with the budget. That's grants on salaries and things like that. So I mean, I think even before I was here, Wayne and them were looking for a grant writer, and I'm glad that we got this far, so that at least we have something, that we have steps that we can build up to.
I'm dealing with, 2 or 3 grants now. When
Yeah.
we do the grants, we had to sign the LSA grant, has to go through the county, so we just signed now, just The LSA grant, you know, when we signed for the American Legion that got a grant in Lehighton, it has to go through the county and that. So we're still dealing with that because they had to apply through the county. The training grant that we just got for $68,000, okay, it was awarded. Now we have to, the one process was simple for the cameras, the infrared cameras, the thermal imaging cameras. That's an easy, it was below the bidding amount, but the other one is getting the fire training props. We're still dealing with the paperwork after 3 with RCAP. We went through the multimodal. This is about the third LSA grant now just for the training center. So, and I, you know, along with our administrator and our office staff gathering the information, our fiscal consultant, because you have to have audit reports and all that stuff, and putting together is time consuming, you know. And I wish I would have asked for more things now in the grant, but there's only so much money there. I think we're down to about $900 and some thousand for the LSA grant, twice or once a year, so.
Okay, sorry, just to clarify, so she is not finding or writing the grants, she's just helping coordinate existing
Tracking.
grants?
Correct. Yeah,
Tracking
she'll
and
be-
coordinating,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's exactly what you said is correct. But as Rocky had said here, and Wayne, this is going to change as time goes on and grow. It's just there needs to be a step made, and that's the step we've made here.
But you think even just the tracking of the grants will help the budget ultimately?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, like a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like even if she goes and sees something that there's a grant for aging, I'm sure she's gonna pass along, but she's not specifically looking for a grant for each department.
And I do think that, like, during the interview process, we had talked about a vision. And the vision that she presented is in line with where we are, and that vision will, as time goes on, come out. And you'll see that, definitely.
So is there a lot of struggle right now, I guess, with keeping track of like the different grants? Is that where a lot of issues are popping up?
I think maybe it's not a struggle, but it's trying to keep dates and times and when things need to be filed and how it has to be done and getting on and having it set up before everyone as to how much we have allocated from grants, what we're receiving. That, yes, that is a struggle, because if you sat here right now and ask any one of us how much money we're receiving next year or this year from grants, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I could not tell you. I can tell you that there's a lot of people out there working very hard in applying for grants and looking for additional funding and finding ways, but those exact numbers, there's so much there. And that's taking nothing away from the grants committee, which there was a grants committee, and that will probably still stay around for a while, because they're working hard at it. But to try to get numbers, because everyone's busy doing other jobs and they're trying to do this and work that, and this should actually help bring all of that together now. And
It's
then
gotta be
it's going to be a process. It's a process.
a lot of research on what grants out there we already have. Might have to go back through the minutes and determine what grants were awarded, how much they were awarded for. Looking at the grant agreements, they're gonna have to be reading that too, and come up with, develop a tracking system to keep track of this and how we're gonna do that yet. That's gonna be up to the grant coordinator, because we sure don't have the expertise to do it, so.
So the different departments, when they meet with her, should they be bringing grant ideas or just existing grants that they already have?
I think that's something that we're going to let the grants coordinator roll out and communicate through the county administrator to those departments.
That's fine.
Anything else? If you ask about grants, right?
I have a question in regards to the salary board. We made quite a few motions under the corrections. Is there a restructuring, or what exactly is going on there?
Yeah, that's mostly restructuring in those positions, isn't it? I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving people around, and sometimes when you move people around, you have to adjust the salaries because they get promoted and get paid less for a promotion. So going from one position to another, goes back to job descriptions and defining that and try to promote within. But we can't have a new corrections officer, let's say for a good, maybe not the best example, and we've run into it, getting paid more than the sergeants, the shift supervisors. You know, so that happens, things of that like that occur a lot.
And I do know you're probably, because there was a new position, the recordings records secretary, that was a new position that was created. This position is currently was being done by some, I think sergeants or whatever at the correctional, and that's just taking care of making sure there's a position there and someone officially assigned to do that. And that rate of pay falls in line with what was weighted at when it went before human resources.
And I think that's where I go back to job descriptions are very important. And, you know, some of these jobs are combined and you can see it like they're getting an increase for what they're actually doing. You know what I mean? They could have been doing some of this stuff for a year already and never compensated for it. And then, like I said, job descriptions are probably the most important thing on getting better salaries.
And as you see, they are all obviously better salaries.
That's all I have, then, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, with that, thank you all very much. Enjoy your weekend.